Hello everyone! Today I invite you to another day of adventure in the Tricity area. Today we're in Gdynia, the youngest of Tricity cities, often referred to as the city of the sea and dreams. Although it's hard to imagine, this city is less than 100 years old. At the beginning of the 20th century, it was just a small fishing village. But within 20 years, after the end of World War I in 1918, it developed into a metropolis with the most modern port on the Baltic Sea and had nearly 130,000 inhabitants by 1939. Two factors were decisive. Once again, Poland lost Gdańsk, and Gdynia was located on a small piece of Polish coastline, naturally shaped for building a port. The port, opened in 1923, acted as a springboard for development, attracting people, trade, and investments. Around the port, a city grew, which gained city rights in 1926, complete with its own train and sea station, and even a regular Gdynia-New York connection. Today, Gdynia is well connected to the rest of Poland. The easiest way to get here is by train from various parts of the country or by local SKM trains from Gdańsk or Sopot. It's worth visiting, even just for the architecture. The city was built in the modernist style, a functional style that dominated in the 1920s and 30s, giving it a very unique and exceptional European character. The city's main scenic axis is a park and recreational space connecting Kościuszko Square with the southern pier, built in 1934. Along the pier, you'll find moored museum ships, including the training ship Dar Pomorza, a three-masted sailing vessel bought in 1929 by the people of Pomerania for the Maritime School in Gdynia, which sailed until 1982. Right next to it is the ORP Błyskawica, a Polish destroyer that took part in World War II. One of the fastest and most modern ships in the Polish Navy at that time. At the end of the pier is the alley of passenger ships, commemorating impressive vessels that have visited the port of Gdynia. And right next to it is the Gdynia Aquarium, perfect for a family outing. This entire route is like a journey through the city's maritime history. The scenic axis ends with the Game of Masts installation and a monument to Józef Konrad Korzeniowski, an English writer and publicist of Polish descent, known worldwide by his pseudonym Józef Konrad. Gdynia also has its own city beach, just a few steps from Kościuszko Square, with a large playground nearby, something for everyone. Next door is the Navy Museum, which documents the history of Poland's naval forces. One of the must-see places is the Emigration Museum, located in the port in the historic Maritime Station building. Walking through this fascinating exhibition, you'll learn about the fates of Polish immigrants over the past 200 years. Those who ventured into the unknown, often in search of a better life. Every story is moving and though provoking. Look for the museum in the heart of Gdynia's port, at 1 Polska Street. But Gdynia isn't just about history and ports. There's also a unique cable car that in 2 minutes will take you to Kamienna Góra, where you'll find a cross at the top, a perfect spot to admire the city's panorama and the view of the Gulf of Gdańsk. To finish, We recommend a trip to Orłowo, a southern district of the city, a bit away from the center, but definitely worth it. A walk along the pier, a view of the Orłowo cliff, it's the perfect spot for nature lovers and scenic views. Although today's pier is just a fraction of the 430-meter structure built in 1934 and damaged by a storm in the mid-20th century, it's still a favorite walking spot for locals. The Orłowo Cliff, also called the Eagle's Head, is one of the most picturesque spots on Poland's coast. It rises nearly 60 meters high and ends in a steep wall, formed by erosion which continues to shape it. It's hard to say which is more scenic, admiring it from below or walking along the path on its edge, which leads to one of Poland's oldest nature reserves, Kępa Rydłowska. Military activity during the pre-war period caused a lot of damage to this area. You'll come across numerous artillery guns and defensive structures. We hope this tour of Gdynia inspires you to visit this wonderful city. Check your tickets, pack your bags, and head out to explore Gdynia. Thank you for watching, and we invite you to check out the other parts of our Tricity adventure, Sopot and Gdańsk. And don't forget to subscribe!